welcome back to another video. So I get loads and loads of comments on my videos about Brit deals and Euro lots, asking how they can get around the application, because those type of wholesalers require you to be registered as, you know, self-employed or have a company. And people are always asking me like how to get around that, and so I just wanted to make this quick video for all like more newer people who are wanting to make money online, or doing, you know, something online, who might be thinking about when or how they need to be declaring their income. There's a car going past. Yeah, because it's really not as scary as you think. Before I did it, I understand people's fear and, you know, people not wanting to do it, because depending on your situation, I can only speak about mine. Before I registered as self-employed, I was completely broke. I was, you know, living off food banks and all that kind of stuff. And the little money that I was getting in, at that time, it's just when it changed to universal credit, and I was getting that, and I was terrified that any money that I declared, they were just going to take off, because that's kind of how it worked in a job. So I understand people's, you know, they might be worried that if they say they're earning a certain amount, that gets taken off somewhere else, and it's really difficult to get out of that particular situation. But it is going to be different for everyone depending on your situation, so I can only talk about myself because I don't know how it works. You know, if you have a full-time job and you're doing it on the side, I'm guessing it works the same, but just don't take my word for anything. I'll leave the links down below of where you can get the most up-to-date information. So if you're watching this is just what I do, so always double check and don't just take my word for it, because I'm still a complete noob about these things, so I can only share with you what I'm doing. So people asking if they have to declare what they're making. Yes, you have to declare it. Declaring it doesn't mean that they're gonna, you know, take it away somewhere else. You can earn £1,000, they give you £1,000 that you don't have to declare. So if you're just selling some bits on eBay and stuff, you're totally fine, you don't have to worry about it. When you get to the point where you're earning over £1,000, then you do have to declare it, even if it's, you know, selling stuff on eBay or whatever it is you're doing. There's a total loophole though, because if you're match betting, you don't have to declare nothing, because it's not actually classified as income. It's classified as gambling winnings, even though people who understand match betting, they know it's not actually gambling. But that is completely tax-free, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So awesome, all you match betting people, finished. If you're doing anything else online, you do have to declare it. It's really easy. You can just go onto the HMRC website and just fill in a little form. It literally takes a few minutes, and then they will send you a letter to your house which has your UTR number on it, which is your unique tax reference number, which you're going to need to be able to declare your earnings and fill out your tax return. So the thing that makes it not as scary as what people think it's going to be is that you get a personal allowance, which is how much you get to make every year and not have to pay tax. So it changes all the time. I think it's just gone up to something like £12,570 or something. So if you earn below this amount, you still have to declare what you're making. It just means that you're not going, that's your personal allowance, you're not going to have to pay tax on it. If you're earning up to £12,570, you still have to declare it. But if you earn over that, I think it's between 12,000 and 50,000, you pay 20% in tax. If you earn over 50,000, it shoots up to like 40, I believe. And then after that, it does go up again to 45, which is ridiculous amount. But anyway, I look at it as the more tax you're paying, the more profit you're making. So kind of like with eBay fees, the more eBay fees you're paying, actually the better, because that means the more that you're selling. So when you register as self-employed and you get your letter and everything, you have between April and January to fill in your tax return for the previous year. So you have loads of time. I think you only have until the October if you're doing it on paper, but I'm going to guess the majority of us are going to be doing it online. So you have like 10 months. Is that 10 months? I think, I don't know. You have all that time to do it for the previous year. So I see so many people like freaking out about it, but it really doesn't have to be a big deal. The way to simplify it and just make it easy is keep a record of all the money you've got coming in. I do this on a monthly basis. I actually do it on a daily basis, but that's just because I like spreadsheets. But if you do it every month, just how much you've got coming in, and then how much you've spent, so all your expenses. So if you're on eBay, it's going to be stuff like stock, eBay fees, postage, bags, I can't think of what they're called, poly bags and stuff like that, packing materials. petrol, all that kind of stuff. So if you do this once a month, so when it comes to doing your tax return, you're gonna, if you've done this every month, you're gonna add up all the money that's come in, so that's gonna be your turnover in just one number, and then you're gonna add up all them expenses that you've wrote down, hopefully, every month, and then that's gonna go in there, and then you're only gonna get taxed on the actual profit that you make, and that is the turnover minus your expenses, and then that's the number that you're going to be taxed on. But before you get taxed on it, they're going to take that number and take off your personal allowance, which as of this year is £12,570, and then whatever's left, that's what you're going to pay tax on. So if you wanted to get an idea of how much tax you might pay, there's a cool little calculator on the gov.uk site here, estimate income tax, and it just gives you a bit of a estimation. So let's just say you earned £1,500 a month from self-employment. No, you're below pension age. You're in England. It will give you an estimate of how much you'll pay. So your take-home pay would be £15,900. It'll show you your tax and your national insurance and how it's broken down. So just say you earn 18 grand from self-employment, it will take off your personal allowance, which this year 12,579. So your actual taxable income is only 5,500. Remember, this is a total estimate, but it just gives you a bit of an idea. So let's just say you were just starting out and you made, let's say you made £100 a week profit. So you made 5,000 a year, you would pay £0 because you are below the tax amount. Let's say you earned £1,000 a month in profit and you would pay £0 in tax because it's still under the allowance. All you'd have to pay is your national insurance, and this will all depend on, you know, your other circumstances, if you have another job or whatever. So yeah, I'll link this calculator below if you want to have a play around with it. So it's really not as scary as people think it is. You do get letters from them as well, you know, when it's time to do it, they'll remind you. So I use a spreadsheet for everything. I have made my own spreadsheet. It needs updating, the one on my website. I need to update it. I'll update it this week because it's still on the eBay part of it. It's still from before managed payments came in, so it's got the PayPal bit. But I just keep it all on a simple spreadsheet. What's coming in, what's going out, so I know what's going on. It did get a bit complicated because I have like multiple income streams coming in now. So if you're just doing one and just doing eBay, you're totally fine to just do it like that. But when you've got a few different things coming in, it gets a bit complicated. So I recently started using Sage Accounting. I think it's the Sage Cloud Accounting. So you don't have to download any software or anything, and it's just all online. And you can access it from anywhere, which I love, and I found that really, really good. So like with all these accounting software, it's not software, but you know, the accounting apps and money trackers and things, they all pretty much do the same thing. You can connect to your bank. I now have a business bank, so I connect it to there, and then you can set up rules for what's coming in, what's going out, and then it just shows you really simply, you know, every month how you're looking. You can easily bring it up, you know, how am I doing this year compared to last year, or this month compared to last month. It just makes it really, really easy. And I've linked down below, there's a free trial at the minute for Sage Accounting, which I think it's like a 3-month or even a 6-month trial, so it's way worth trying out if you've not tried one of them things before. Also, I have tried Quickbooks in the past. I did like it, but I had trouble because I think at the time I had everything just in one bank account, and it was really difficult for me to split up what was what. It got confusing. Now I have all like business money separate to my personal money, and that just works out better for me. On them apps, you can take a picture or a screenshot of the receipt or invoice for whatever it is that you've bought. Like say you've bought some stock and you get your receipt in an email, you can screenshot it and save it onto that transaction, so that when you come to do your tax return at the end of the year, everything is there. You don't actually need to provide any of this proof unless you get audited. I've never been audited before, but it is just like a random spot check that they do just to random people. You never know if it's going to happen or not, and it's where they'll just come to you and say, right, you know, we want to see see everything basically. So that is where it's going to be so important that you have month by month records of everything. So if that ever happens, you're not in like a complete panic. How do I prove this payment from like over a year ago? So if you do it all like that, do it all digitally, then it's all online and you don't have to worry about it. So like I said, I'll link everything down below. Do double check before you do anything. You can always ring HMRC, they're really nice to speak to. I've spoke to them a few times and they'll tell you everything you need to know if you don't know about anything. But yeah, to recap, you get £1,000 trading allowance where you don't have to declare it. Anything above £1,000, do declare it. Unless it's match betting, you don't have to pay tax on that, so that's just yours to keep. Keep records every month of what's coming in, what's going out. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to super stress about it. As long as you've got your outgoing amount, your incoming amount, you'll be totally fine. And for anyone who is in the situation that I was in, and if you are on some kind of benefit or universal credit or anything, don't think that they're just going to take that away if you register as self-employed, because they're not. They are really good and really, really helpful. I was better off somehow being self-employed than I was if I took a full-time job. I don't know how, but that's just how it worked out. If you have children as well, and if they're of a similar age to mine, I know everyone's entitled to, I think when your kid turns 2, you're entitled to the 15 hours childcare. But if you are working full-time, which if you're registered as self-employed and making a certain amount every week, then you're eligible for the 30 hours funded childcare, should I say, which allows you to actually work full-time. So that's just an awesome little thing that I didn't know before I did it. If you have any questions about that, just leave them down below or contact me somehow and I'll get back to you, because I know what it's like when you're thinking like, should I do it, should I not do it? You don't want to like mess up all your money and stuff, but it's really not scary and it's really, really easy to do. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'm not an expert, I'm only telling you the stuff that I do. So please double check before you do anything, speak to the proper people, and if all else fails and you're totally stressing about it, just hire an accountant. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.